Hello, Anarchy Lane. How are you guys doing? How are you holding up? The price of everything going through the roof. Now, we're going to take a look at the situation in Eastern Europe with a possible outcome. Alright, let's look at the population first. There are 70 countries in Asia, this part of Asia. They're Arab and Asian populations. Okay. Then there are 22 European nations. Some of them are part of NATO, some of them not. There's one of them that desperately wants to be in the EU and NATO. There's Ukraine. However, they haven't got their membership yet. They haven't got their invitation to join the big club. But yet, they're doing all the grunt work, the dirty work, of locking horns with Russia. Now, speaking of Russia, it is considered part of Asia. So NATO countries and European countries combined make 11,778,000,000 with 842,000. Now that's combined. Okay, the Asian countries, because Arab countries are considered part of Asia on maps, are 4.561 billion people. Now I know it seems like NATO and EU would outnumber them. However, you got Germany, who's pulling away from the bans on Russian fuel. There's a couple other, Turkey and Hungary are the ones that want to pull away from NATO. You got an area of Moldova. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. There'll be a link to an article about it below. Check it out. Because it's kind of hard to say. But this area of Moldova wants to break away from Moldova. They want to rejoin Russia. Just as Crimea held a referendum which led to them to rejoining Russia. Donetsk and Lugansk also want to rejoin Russia. Under the Minsk Accords, Donetsk and Lugansk are their own countries. Here's where Finland, Sweden, and Moldova come in. Their populations are being manipulated by their elected officials into joining NATO. Keep in mind, when you join NATO, Article 5 means your army is no longer your own. It is now obligated to stand with NATO countries if one of them invokes Article 5, which means one's attacked, they all join in. Now, how to counter that so that leaders of these Asian countries don't end up like Imran Khan, is you form an Asian Union, an Arab Asian Union. It would be comprised of Arabic and Asian folks. If they can do this and bring Japan in with them, and I'll link an article why Japan would join them, they could obliterate NATO and EU. I mean, just completely wipe it off the map. The NATO and EU would have two choices: get your ass handed to you in a war, or surrender. Now, that means NATO is no more, the EU is dead and buried. There's just independent countries that come together and discuss things. Now, here's something you need to remember before you get all excited. In September, it's a commodities auction where Russia will be holding auctions for their oil. Of course, people, if you are unfriendly, you will be paying in rubles, if you even get a contract. Get where I'm going here? If you get a contract. You see, Russia doesn't need Europe. They've got Asia. They're part of Asia. 70 countries. So, that means Europe could be in for a serious ass kicker of a winter in 2022-2023 if they don't pull the reins on their officials. Now, as you know by now, Macron won. The choice for the president of France was between a one puppet who is a Rothschild banking puppet. The other one, Le Pen, is a daughter of a former Nazi, a collaborator. Boy, and I thought our system here in America was a joke. Wow. Alright, I'll see you guys later.